Hey guys, Hal here coming at you with another movie review. Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be diving into one of the most anticipated kaiju films of 2023, Godzilla Minus One. Whether you're a long-term fan of the King of the Monsters or you're only just discovering Godzilla, there was a lot of buzz around this film in 2023 and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you today. So let's get to it. Now, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a huge fan of the Godzilla franchise. I think my very first experience was probably the Godzilla film from 1998. And you didn't really get to see much of Godzilla in that, if I remember rightly. It was mostly just a big foot coming into shot every once in a while. And it looked more of like a low walking lizard rather than the upright Godzilla that we know from most films. So I'll dip in and out of them. What I can say about this particular one, I popped it on Netflix last night, so I'm very late to the party, and I'd heard very good things about it. And straight away, I can tell already that it is totally different. They really bring this one back to its roots, and it's more of its kaiju elements are really in the forefront of this film. The narrative of the story is way more grounded, and it's definitely focused on the characters that you are watching, throughout this. And I was very impressed. This film doesn't shy away from heavy themes such as destruction, guilt, and the aftermath of war. Godzilla Minus One introduces us to a Japan still reeling from the consequences of World War II. The movie's premise centers on Godzilla being unleashed on a world already scarred by the horrors of war. And that's where the film finds its true depth. And like the flashy spectacle of previous Godzilla films, this one taps into the emotional and psychological toll of living in a world with monsters like him. One of the standouts for me in this was just how well the characters are developed and grounded. They really did bring this film to life. It really made the stakes feel so much more real because you really liked how good the characters were. I liked the way they all worked within each other. Like the main character, he straight away is a kamikaze pilot that's landed and kind of ran away from the job that he was supposed to do at the end of World War II. And you can see his vulnerabilities and his shame in coming back from that scenario. And then he befriends a group of people that he then gets a job with. And those groups that he's with are just the right, perfect amount of characters that you need in this film. You like them all because they've all got their own personalities and they all really do befriend the main character and want to help him along through his story. And it's really quite touching, actually. I don't want to give anything away. It's well worth checking out. But he is so vulnerable, and to see that his friends that befriend him really do push him on through this story. There was moments where actually I totally forgot I was watching a Godzilla film because I was so interested in the way in which they all, are speaking with one another and how they really push each other on through the story. The emotional weight that they bring to the story helps the audience connect with what's at stake, even whilst Godzilla is absolutely rampaging through cities. And as this is a Godzilla film, we must talk about Godzilla himself. And I have to admit, it is a perfect balance between a modern and a classic Godzilla. There's something quite primal about him, but they still add in all those classic elements from what we're used to seeing. The destruction that he causes when in Tokyo feels heavy and real. The graphics are very good as well. There's a lot of parts where he's actually in the water, and sometimes that can look quite fake, but it really does look quite good the way he's drifting in and out. And I had a right boost as well when he starts powering up himself before he actually then not fires the laser from his mouth, where he's just like, ah, it looks brilliant. So it was something I was very impressed with, as I've not actually been impressed with a lot of the graphics that I've seen in the more Hollywood Godzilla films. The cinematography in the film is excellent as well. You get these sweeping shots of a ruined Japan and close-ups of all the devastation. So it is really quite a stunning visual experience. The sound design of Godzilla's roar is absolutely as iconic as ever. It's probably my favourite iteration of Godzilla and his roar. It absolutely vibrated through my room when I was watching it. And it's something that I would like to go watch back with, or in the cinema actually, just to hear that sound. So I was quite disappointed that I never got to see it in the cinema just because of the visuals and that sound. This film isn't simply just a monster movie either. It really tackles the consequences of human actions and the aftermath of destruction. It really does bring like a level of seriousness that you don't often find in these like Godzilla movies, and it's really quite refreshing to see. So my overall thoughts on Godzilla -1 is that it's well worth watching. In all honesty, it's absolutely fantastic. I loved every moment of it. It takes the Godzilla franchise in a brand new, bold direction, but still has the classic action that we all expect from these films, but just with more in-depth storytelling. I really, really did enjoy it. I've heard it's actually out in like a more black and white grainy version, which I'd be quite curious to see as well, because it does capture those classic kaiju movies so well, and that was with all the colour and it being very vibrant. So I'd love to see what it's like stripped back actually and just in the black and white. So maybe I'll do a review on that once I get the chance to watch it. So guys, that was my Godzilla -1 movie review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, then please subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell, because when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious.